Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
All right. Let's begin. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Thapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yesterday we finished chapter 13. Today we are going to start chapter 14. So we learned about the nature, the enjoyer, the consciousness. We learned about the 24 elements of material nature. And in that 24 elements, Bhagavan has said one thing which was called unmanifest, nature in its unmanifested form. So that nature is manifested when it is unmanifested, it is there, but when it manifests itself, it comes in three things. Those are known as the modes of material nature. And Bhagavan in chapter 14 is now going to explain us the three modes of material nature. In the previous chapters, we had learned nature is called Ashtadha. Ashtadha means 8 elements, 8 components of nature. If we have to describe material nature, we take all these 8 components and we'll say, okay, this is material nature. What was those 8? It was 5 great elements, starting from earth, fire, water, earth, water, fire, air, all the way till ether. So the 5 great elements plus mind, intellect, and ego. Okay, so this much you knew, 8 elements. Now there are 3 more things Bhagavan is going to describe about Prakriti, and this is the nature in 3 modes. It's like if I ask you, say in India, we have rice pudding. If I ask you, describe me rice pudding. So how will you start describing? Different people will describe different way. What does rice pudding have? What does rice pudding look like? So one of the ways is to describe is what the rice pudding contains. You will say, okay, the rice pudding has sugar, milk, rice. I'm like, perfect. So these are the 3 ingredients of rice pudding. What else? You will say rice pudding is sweet. So this is not an ingredient. This is the quality of the rice pudding, the taste. You will say rice pudding is thick, like mushi, like a porridge. This is also not the ingredient. This is the quality, consistency of rice pudding. You may say rice pudding we like it hot. So again, this is not the ingredient. This is the quality, the temperature, the feel of it. Rice pudding is cold. Some people, so this is will say the rice pudding is white. So you are describing the qualities of the rice pudding. Then somebody will say, oh, you guys make it like that. Yes, our ingredients are also the same, but our rice pudding is not white. You'll be like, why is it not white? Oh, we added some saffron in it, so it is yellowish in color. But what about the ingredients? Same, except the saffron color, Wonderful. Somebody will say, oh, you guys we also have 3 ingredients to make rice pudding. But you use white sugar. We don't use white sugar. We use palm jaggery. So our rice pudding will taste different. Even though the ingredients are the same, it is sweet. But our rice pudding will taste different. The consistency is also the same. Ingredients are just 3. But it will look different. It will taste different. Same thing. 3 ingredients. And the 3 ingredients is in so many different varieties. Similarly, with nature, same 8 ingredients. But something changing here and there, so many varieties. What is that thing that is changing here and there? That so many varieties are produced. That is the modes of material nature. Ingredient is the same. But quality is different. The way it looks is different. The feel is different. I take the example of a human and a bear. Look at the polar bear. I like polar bears. I like all bears. Bears are nice, cute. Teddy bear, polar bear. We also have hair. They also have hair. We also have eyes. They also have eyes. We also have nose. They also have nose. We also have a mouth. They also have a mouth. Kung Fu Panda. Bears are so soft, yeah. Kung Fu Panda. So, and they also have good height. Maybe we are smaller than them, probably in height. They also walk like us, bears. They also eat food just like us. So when you see, okay, we both look the same, but there is still a difference, is it not? And both of our bodies, what is it made up of? I am also made up of the 5 elements and those 3 things, mind, intellect, and ego. The bear is also made up of the same ingredient. 5 elements plus bear also has his own mind. Bear also has his own intelligence. He also has his own ego. He knows he exists. That is why a bear also fears death. He knows he exists. Like the way we fear. But even though we both are made up of even though we are both made up of the same 8 ingredients, our qualities are different. We are different. What made that quality different? So somewhere the variation of the ingredients and the variation of the modes of material nature. So this is me and bear, then the cow, the bear, and lion. They're all the animal kingdom, same animal kingdom. All the 3 are made up of the same 8 ingredients. Ashtadha Prakriti, 5 great elements and mind, intellect, and ego. They all know they exist. They all love their lives. But the cow skin is different than the lion skin and the bear skin. And the nature, cow's nature is different than the bear and then the lion. Add a donkey in between, same thing. Add a horse. The donkey and the horse, they look similar in the world. If you're angry on somebody and you want to tell them you're a donkey, but you can't say donkey. If you want to tell your boss, he has a donkey mind, you can't tell your boss you're a donkey. Oh, you'll say you are like a horse. So agile. So the horse and the donkey, the horse, the donkey, the pony, they all look the same. but the qualities are different. So the animal kingdom, you see, they are all, including us, we are all made of the same 8 ingredients, but our qualities are different. Our natures are different. What are these nature? So Bhagavan says our Vedas have classified these natures into 3 natures, 3 modes of material nature. Mode of goodness is Satvik. Mode of passion is Rajsik. Mode of ignorance is Tamsik. So 3 modes. And based on this, everybody is behaving differently. Okay. So like how you change the quality of the kheer, of the pudding, you change the quality of the pudding by just adding something here and there. That's it. Similarly, by changing these 3 natures, you get different people with different, qualities. All right. So let's go to this material nature. So 3 modes of material nature. śrībhagavānuvācha paraṃ bhūyaḥ pravakṣyāmi jñānānāṃ jñānamuttamam yajjñātvā munayaḥ sarvē paraṃ siddhimitō gatāḥ. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all sages have attained the supreme perfection. One more thing you will notice is Bhagavan, every time when he speaks, all the chapters he has said, knowing this, you will get the perfection. Knowing this, you will get the perfection. Every chapter he will say that, which is true. If one chapter also, if you know, the only thing is you have to contemplate. It looks like a lecture. It looks like a class. It looks like a book. But main thing is you have to contemplate. Okay. So if you start contemplating and you start applying in your daily life, I apply. When Bhagavan spoke about 3 modes of material nature, it completely changed my outlook. The way I look at world is very different. I always look in this mode only, Satvik Rajsik and Tamsik. This is how my mind is programmed now, Satvik Rajsik and Tamsik. I see different forms, different forms made of Ashtadha Prakriti. Inside them, same soul which I have. What is that soul? Part of the Bhagavan. So this is application. Application to the point that you see it like that, internally, externally, in your thoughts. You may not appear to the people that you have changed, but internally you know. I may be talking just like the way you talk. I may joke the way you're joking. I will be like you, normal. When I am in the world, I'm like a normal person. But internally, there's a difference in the way I see the world and the way world and the people perceive. So Gita, when you're learning, it will open up your eyes, as they really say, literally opening your eyes, and you see things differently. So Bhagavan says, if you know this, many seers in the past have known this, by which they attained the supreme perfection. Yes. Idaṃ jñānamupāśritya mama sādharmyamāgatāḥ sargē'pi nōpajāyantē pralayē vyathanti. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. When he says like my own, one of the meaning is him himself. Second is he has 2 other natures. He is Brahman and he is Paramatma. We spoke about Brahman and Paramatma in detail in chapter 13. So Bhagavan says, if someone understands this nature and the 3 modes of nature, they will attain me, either in the Brahman form or in the Paramatma form or in the Bhagavan form. Thus established, when you know him, what will happen? Bhagavan says, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. If anything bad is happening in life, the way we look at Rudre Leela, we don't say, oh, something wrong is happening. We don't say, Rudre Leela ho gayi. It's a very common term. I use it in my head. Again, I learned it from saints. Rudre Leela. Never. Nothing. There is nothing called bad in this world. Nothing, somebody stole something. Rudre Leela ho gayi. We had a loss in something. It's Rudre Leela. We think like that. It makes you think like that. Rudre Leela means all tamoguni things are happening. Dissolution. So, one is not born at the time of creation and is not disturbed at the time of dissolution. Mama yōnirmahadbrahma tasmingarbhaṃ dadhāmyaham sambhavaḥ sarvabhūtānāṃ tatō bhavati bharata. This total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Sarvayoneshu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyonir aham bija pradapitaha. Bhagavan says it should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. So two things here he has mentioned. Total material substance is called Brahman. So when this universe is started, when this universe is created, the first material substance that comes out is called Brahman. This also has another word called Mahat-tattva. Those who are making their vocabulary, if you ever read Mahat-tattva came out, you should know that same Mahat-tattva is Brahman. Mahat-tattva will be used frequently when we read the Bhagavatam. But same Mahat-tattva Bhagavan in Gita is calling us Brahman. So the first thing that comes out, which is going to create the material nature, is the Brahman Tattva. From this Brahman Tattva comes out Ahankar, or Vimarsh also. Bhagavan is there, Bhagavan's reflection. And from there comes out the three gunas, Rajoguna, Satoguna, Tamoguna. This is how the creation of the world happens, Srishtikram. So from this Brahman, the first person that is created is Brahma, Bhagavan's thought. This Brahma is given the job to create the universe. So how is that universe created? This Brahma is given all the knowledge from the past universes, and then he creates an egg. That egg is called as Brahmanda. And means egg. Brahma's egg. There is another name for that egg. It's called Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb. Garbha means womb, Hiranya means golden, the golden womb. So this whole cosmos, whole universe, 14 planetary systems, they are inside this golden womb, Brahmanda. First element was Brahma. From Brahma came Brahma. From Brahma came his anda, his egg, Brahmanda. Got it? Brahmanda means universe. So this Brahmanda is there for close to 1,000 divine years. And then this Brahmanda is hatching. So when that Brahmanda hatches, it's going to create the universe. So the mountains are going to come, the rivers are going to come, the oceans are going to come, the sky comes, the air comes, the fire, all elements are coming out. And then from these elements, all the different variety species of animals are created. And from the species of animals, even the planetary systems are created. And then humans are created, devatas are created. animals or whatever, for the lower planetary system, all those species are created. So this is all the creation of Brahmanda, the universe. From where does it come? It comes from Brahma Tattva, the first material substance, Brahma. And Bhagavan says, who is impregnating? Me. I impregnate that, and he says, I am the father, I am the seed-giving father of everything. Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhavaḥ nibadhanti mahabāho dehe dehinam avyayam. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So first Bhagavan says, I am the seed-giving father. So he is our father. He gave us the seed. So we carry whose DNA? We carry his DNA. We have God's DNA. We are God's child. We are made in his image. So if we are God's child, then why are we not behaving godly? What went wrong? Bhagavan says, because you came in this body, and in this body, through this body, you came in association with my three modes of material nature. These three modes of material nature are called gunas. Gunas mean ropes. You got caught up in this Satvik rope, Rajsik rope, Tamsik rope, and now you are stuck. Even though you are mine. But in the game, you are like completely stuck. Understand the game and cut off all these ropes. Cut off all these ties. So now we have to understand, okay, we got tied up because these three gunas, these three ropes are spread everywhere. And so many knots we have made, and now we don't know how to come out of the knots. But we should know. So Bhagavan now is giving us the knowledge. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakāśakam anamayam sukha sanghena badhanati jnana sanghena chanagha. O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than the others is eliminating, and it frees one from all sinful reaction. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness. So Bhagavan starts with mode of goodness. But before that, let me just share a picture. This you must have seen so many times. Here. So this is Krishna and this is us. And here are the three modes of nature. So the Satvik mode, Rajsik mode, Tamsik mode. Look at the threads, the knots. And this is us being stuck in this. So Bhagavan says, yeah, even though I am the seed-giving father, I gave the seed, but my three modes of material nature are acting upon you, and you are getting stuck over there. Now understand how you should come out of it. He says, out of all these modes, don't worry. Satvik mode is the best mode. He says, O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than others is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sangam samudbhavam tad nibadnati kaunteya karma sanghena dehinam. Then the second mode of passion, is born of unlimited desires and longings. O son of Kunti, because of this, embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Tamastu ajñānajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramādalasya nidrabhis tan nibadnati bharata. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. So 3 gunas here said. Satvik gunas are going to give you happiness. Rajasic gunas are going to make you very active and always keep you embodied and then they are going to push you towards fruitive actions. And tamsic gunas, they will always make you lazy, depressed. You will not like anything. It will lead you to madness. Bhagavan says, sometimes the mode of goodness becomes predominant, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats the mode of goodness and ignorance. And at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always a competition for supremacy. So now let's understand this again. 3 modes. Bhagavan said, Satvik mode will lead you to happiness. Rajasic mode will lead you to more action. Tamsic mode will lead you to madness. Sometimes one of these modes becomes predominant, dominant, and sometimes the other one will dominate. So what is all this? All these 3 modes are required in us. It is always there in all of us. In everything that you see in the world, these 3 modes are there. We'll take an example of places. When I say Bombay, very active. You can think of the city's concrete jungle. People are active since morning till night. They are running to make some money. So everybody is in the mode of action. Is everybody happy because of making that much money? They live in like small houses paying millions of dollars. But are they happy? No. Running. They don't know. Talk to a Mumbaiker and he'll be like, I don't know why I'm running. The whole life is just going on in trains. Traveling in trains. Think of New York. Those who live in New York. Active life. Stock exchange. Financial capital of the world. If something wrong happens, the whole world will shake. So what is the predominant nature of these places? Action. To gain something, to make your life beautiful, but beauty is just somewhere else. So these places are mostly in Rajoguna. If I tell you, think of Vrindavan, think of Rishikesh, think of Kedarnath, think of Badrinath, all these beautiful nature places. Think of Ganges. Beautifully. When you think of nature and such places, undisturbed by nature, naturally your mind is going towards God. So these places have more of sato guna, satvik. Rishikesh and all those satvik guna. If I tell about Vegas, gambling, drugs, sex. Vegas, Las Vegas. Predominantly this place is tamoguna. Now take examples of animals. A cow, peaceful animal. Food is vegetarian, very loving. You feel safe with a cow. It won't attack and eat you up. You know, you can go near a cow. It may kick you, but it won't eat you up. You are safe with a cow. Predominantly satvik. Think of a lion. You'll fear. And what does it eat? What is nature? Fierce. Think of a jaguar, the way they run. The leopards. Think of when you think of them, predominantly they are in the mode of action, mode of passion. They are Rajsik. They are known as the king of the jungle, Raja. Rajsik. Then think of a hippo, or a rhino, or a sloth, or a snail. What are they doing? Laziest animals. Predominantly tamsic. So you're understanding? So there is mode of action, then there is another mode, and there is another mode. Books. We're reading the Bhagavad Gita. All good thoughts. Only Bhagwan's thought. No impure thoughts at all, at all. No matter how much active we want to be, it will only calm our senses. I want to be active, but no. After reading Bhagavad Gita, the senses are becoming like this, calming us. Otherwise, the senses, the mind will be thinking what not. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we do satsang, the mind is calm, calming down. So this book, Satvik. And if I give you a book on investments, stock exchange, how to invest in stock market, how to make money, how to, be financially sound and secure. There's so many books like that. The moment you start reading the books and the way they will give it, how much money you have to save, this much percentage for your retirement. And here you'll be thinking, I can't even save this month. And you're talking about retirement. I don't know, how am I going to make money? Always they'll keep you, when you read those books, you'll always feel that there is something lacking. You'll never feel perfect. And they'll have so much examples. They'll give so much plannings, perfect planning. And you think, okay, this is how it has to be. But you don't know. When you start planning to live that way and do all the investments and everything the same way, there is somebody else planning your life. You saved the money to invest in something. And then the morning you get up and there is an accident, or the car went wrong, or somebody's going to hospital, and all your money that you were planning to invest is going somewhere else. All the planning fails. So reading those books makes you aggravated. And you want to do so many things. Or you read about, successful people. They did this, they did that. I also have to do this. But you can't do. For whatever, their situations were different, your situations are different. So they are aggravating your mind. But they push you to a very strong, action-oriented, ambitious life. So those books are in mode of passion. They make you passionate. They are in mode of passion. They are not calming your minds like Gita or any other satsanga book. They'll just do this. If you don't get this, by this age, your life is a waste. I meet youngsters. I get so worried about youngsters these days because there is this whole thing called startup, And 30-year-old, 25-year-old, they think that their life is a waste. And I'm thinking, what? You still have so much life to live. Calm down. They think by 30, if I didn't get this much, then what is the point of life? I'm like, chill. Look at your grandparents. They were enjoying life. So these books and these talks and these people, they'll make you so action-oriented. So those are all Rajsik mode. And so one book is Gita, one book is all this Rajsik mode, and there are third-class books, which is only going to take your mind down. I don't even want to mention those books. So Tamsik books, which are not going to give you any great things in life. We are not going to push you to achieve anything great heights, which are not going to calm your senses, only aggravate more and more. Waste of time, waste of energy, and polluting the mind. So those kind of books are also there. So those are Tamsik books. You see movies. Some movies will stir good thoughts in you. Some movies will stir romantic thoughts in you. And some movies, horrible. So movies are Rajsik, Tamsik. Now, when I say this, when I say like a place, like I said, Rishikesh, I said. Rishikesh is very satvik, right? For me, it is very satvik. Because I go to Rishikesh, I live in Paraṃ, and then I go to the Ganges, I see the Ganges Aarti, so satvik. And then, one time, I heard some people, youngsters, they were also planning to go to Rishikesh. And then their planning is, hey, we'll go to Rishikesh. Are you arranging for some of those? They want to have weed over there. Arrange for all those things, Then that'll be fun. In my head, I'm thinking, my God, let, one place, just leave it as it is. Enjoy the beauty of nature. There also, you don't have to go and do drugs. So same Rishikesh, where there is so much of spirituality, in the same Rishikesh, there is a racket. Youngsters, they go for this. McLeodganj, famous for its weed. Same place. So beautiful. Nature is so beautiful. It can very easily take you towards God. But no. There is these things also existing. So, along with the Sato Guna, there is an undercurrent of Rajoguna, which is existing. But it is not predominant. In Vegas, this is predominant. Now I went to Vegas. Gambling and everything is very dominant there. When I enter Vegas, Bhagwan has said already, I am the greatest gambler. So in my head, the thought, Bhagwan is the greatest gambler. Bhagwan is the greatest gambler. He is everywhere as gambling. And when you enter Vegas, when you drive to Vegas, from my house, it is 3-4 hours. The whole drive is only desert. And suddenly you see this building, Trump's building, golden color building, like golden biscuits in the desert. Old buildings, and then beautiful, all 7 stars there, and the colors, the lighting. Suddenly in the desert is there, it's an oasis and a party. So you go there, and then you see, okay, Rajsik, fully Rajsik. So you are entering into Rajsik city, and then you start seeing people distributing flyers, pamphlets, and then you enter the casinos. Everybody's busy splurging their money, whatever their retirement funds are, old people. And then I look at old people and I'm like, wow, in my country, the old people are so different. And we were taught you should take the mala and keep chanting. I see old ladies, my grandmas and everybody, they are only chanting malas. Here, the old ladies, they are coming with their new boyfriends, and all they want to do is just spend their retirement money. What a different scene altogether. Predominantly Rajsik and Tamsik scene. And there I am sitting. Bhagwan is a gambler, Bhagwan is a gambler, Bhagwan is a gambler. He said in Gita. And then I walk. So there is one casino called Caesar's Palace. I come out of Caesar's Palace. Beautiful. Caesar's Palace is a very beautiful hotel. Okay, very, very nice. Very nicely made. And then I come out of the hotel. And then I see a Buddhist temple there. Right outside the hotel. I went to the Buddha temple and I prayed. Then I was like, yeah, see, a predominantly Tamsik, but there is a Satvik place there too. And then there are preachers, those preachers from Jehovah's Witness or other Bible, the Christians, missionaries. So they are like, so at one place people are, distributing their pamphlet to do all the Rajsik things, and then there are people who are distributing pamphlets of Bible and pamphlets of these things, talking about sin and why you should not be sinful. They'll keep crying, Jesus died for your sin, Jesus died for your sin. So both these things are existing together. The Rajsik, the Tamsik, and the Satvik are existing together, but predominantly that city is Tamsik. So this is there in everything. In us also. Right now we are talking, right? We are talking about Bhagwan. So what are we doing? We are very Satvik. I will, after the class is over, I will get to my home, kitchen work and other work. So many chores, lunchtime. So when I'm doing that work, at that moment, I am in the mode of passion because I'm doing work. I'm not talking about God, even though I'm thinking, because the thought of God will not go, because so much since morning, like 3 hours when I'm doing Gita, the thought of Gita will be there in the background. But I'm doing work. So concentratedly, I am working. So that is mode of passion. So after all this work, everything is done, Gita is done, then I'll be enjoying with my friends, family, going for some recreation. I'm in mode of passion. After that, but even during the mode of passion, people are talking, I'm having fun, I may go for lunch outside, have buffet dinner, everything. But my mind is not leaving Krishna. So there's an undercurrent of Satvik thing, but outside I am like all Rajsik. And when in the night, I'm tired of the whole day, all work wrapped up, go to sleep. So when I'm sleeping, predominantly Tamsik. But in that sleep, say if I'm dreaming something nice, something about God, then my subconscious mind is Satvik. And in the dream, I'm dreaming something else. Rajsik or Tamsik dreams. We get those dreams. So subconscious mind is that. You're getting it? So us only, different times of the day, doing different things, we are in these modes. And we can change these modes. Like I like to hear songs. And I really like to hear very romantic songs, Bollywood songs. But when we were young, the same romantic songs will create a different mood. So you are predominantly in Rajsik, mode of passion. Same songs, when the mind has become so purified, same songs. Now the same songs I offer it to Bhagavan Krishna, or I offer it to my gurus. So the same song which was predominantly Rajsik, because my mind was Rajsik, now the same song is becoming Satvik. I always say, like my father's one favorite song, Tere Naam, Maine Kiya Hai Jeevan Apna Sara Sanam. And every time that song started, he'll be like, tears will be in his eyes. Tere Naam, Humne Kiya Hai Jeevan Apna Sara Sanam. And that tears will be for his guru. And a guy and a girl, if they send this song to each other, and then there is breakup, there are more tears. What a waste of life. But here, the same song, creating such emotions for Bhagavan. So same Rajsik, even though the song was made with Rajsik attitude, Rajsik mindset, but the same thing, the quality, we changed it, using it for different purpose and made it Satvik. So in this world, when we are living, these three things, I'm taking this example, these three things are going everywhere, even in the plant kingdom. Tulsi, Belpatra, Satvik. Then there are leaves, plants. You go to the Ayurveda people, they will give you those plants, those herbs. When men are becoming old, body is giving up, but the internal desires are not. So you want to still perform. So what do? You go to this Ayurveda people and they have those medicines. Oh, by this you'll be able to. So those plant kingdom, those Ayurveda herbs, they are Rajsik. Then there are Tamsik plants too. Have you seen pitcher plant? So the plant's mouth is always open, and if an insect enters into the plant, that's it. They trap the plant, and that is their food. Plant's food is the animal, the insect, the bite, the bug. Tamsik plant, the desert plants. You touch them, they'll pink you, they'll prick you. Tamsik. Certain things will create a mood in you, very calm, and certain things will just excite you, seduction. So Satvik, Rajsik, Tamsik. Aromatherapy. Aromas are coming from flowers. So flowers have different qualities. Satvik, Rajsik, Tamsik. So everything, I took so many examples because my mind, when I read this chapter, everything in the world I analyze like this. This is how I see the world. Now there is no concept of sin and sinlessness, pap and punya. I don't know that. All I know is the play of Rajsik, Satvik, Tamsik. If somebody is into drugs, Tamsik gun predominant. Can he become Satvik? Yes. It is the external thing he can become, because in him the seed is Bhagwan's. Only thing, the body and the mind, externally he has become Tamsik. That's all. It needs to be just washed away by right association. Everything, when we give it to God, we are coming out of that Rajsik mode. Like people are inborn, like they want to earn money. A lot of money. They want to be successful. It is their nature. Their predominant nature is to be like that. They are business oriented. They want to do business. You sit with them, they'll fill you up with that energy. Or sometimes they'll depress you. Like we are useless, we are worthless. And similarly, you sit with some Satvik people, some saints, they'll fill you up with that energy. So Rajsik people who are very business oriented, good. We don't say don't be like that. Earn money, good money you should earn. But that same money you should apply for good purposes, charities, helping others, building temples. So earn money, no problem. So these three gunas are there everywhere. Sarvapriya is asking, so romantic in Rajsik is good. Again, I'm telling you, there is nothing good, there is nothing bad. Nothing good, nothing bad. These are three qualities. This Rajsik good, being romantic, is a very good quality if it makes you happy. I told you, I like to hear songs and I'm very happy hearing those songs. But the same song, if you give to somebody else, and that person didn't respond the way you wanted him to respond, him or her, whatever, then it created pain in you. Then that pain took you into tamsik guna, depression. But same song, being romantic, I give it to God, Shri Krishna. As I said, tere naam maine kiya hai jeevan apna sara sanam. I like to hear that, Aankhon mein teri ajab si adaye hain. I tell you, I just close my eyes and I hear that song. Even though it was filmed on Deepika and Shahrukh, for me, they don't exist. I close that eyes and Aankhon mein teri ajab si adaye, and only Lalita Tripura Sundari comes in front of my eyes. Everything, every line, every word of that is fit on Lalita. Nobody else. I don't see anybody more beautiful than that. So the same song, very romantic song, but when I hear about, when I do it with Ma Lalita, it just fills my heart with so much joy. There's no expectation, this joy. I can sing that song every time. Aankhon mein teri. That's her. Nobody else. Dil ko bana de jo patang. Your heart really flutters for her. So it's like that. So nothing wrong in being romantic. But what is that romanticism going to bring you? That is very important. What happens is we put all the romanticism on worldly things, and then in the end, sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are sad, sometimes you don't get anything out of that. But the same romanticism, when I apply it to God, my Krishna, my beloved, we call him Priyatam, Madhuri Ras. This is what it is. I'm very romantic with my Krishna. Madhuri Ras. Everything for him. And the heart is only filled with joy. Even if we feel separation, that separation also gives us only joy. So that is Satvik Guna. Satvik Guna, Bhagavan said, what did he say? I'll repeat it again. Bhagavan said, the mode of goodness, being purer than others, is illuminating, and it frees one from sinful reactions. And those situated in the mode of in this mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness. Got it? In the 9th, he said, O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Mode of passion conditions one to fruitive actions. Same song, romantic song. You send it to somebody. You want some result from that. And you don't get it. It's very sad. I've seen people, women becoming so depressed. They didn't get that particular love that they were looking from whomever. This is Rajsik. And then when they don't get it, then they turn to, they are so much in pain, then to take away their pain, they will turn to wine and whatnot. Tamsik. So Bhagavan says, O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Passion conditions one to fruitive actions. And ignorance covering one's knowledge binds them to madness. So these are going to be dominant, one thing or the other. Okay? So it's like that. So in us also, these 3 gunas are going to be dominant at some time. Something doesn't matter. We have to understand what we want to achieve in our life. So these are the 3 gunas. We see neutrally everything. These are the 3 gunas. Out of which the Rajsik guna is the most predominant guna, I'm telling you, because we came out of Raja. Brahmaji is in Rajsik guna. Without Rajsik guna, no action can happen. So Rajsik guna has been given to us for actions to happen. We cannot create anything. Even to do a prayer, we need a Rajsik guna first. Because we need that Shakti, we need that energy. To get up from the bed, we need Rajsik guna. Do our daily chores, we need Rajsik guna. Without Rajsik guna, not possible. So Rajsik guna is predominant, but Rajsik guna can go either to Satvik or to Tamsik. But mostly in the world, what happens, if this is Rajsik guna is bending towards Satvik all the time, towards Tamsik all the time. Rajsik and Tamsik, their friendship is very dangerous, disastrous for the living entity. But Rajsik and Satvik, it's a very good friendship. So we are Rajsik, we are all Rajsik, we are born out of Raja. But all our actions, when we do it for God, we are bending towards Satvik, and this is the Rajsik and Satvik. This will take us towards liberation. But Rajsik and Tamsik will bring us down. So in the world, whatever we see, one is to see others, the next is to analyze ourselves. Where do I stand? Where is my mind? Where is my intellect? Who am I? Rajsik, Satvik or Tamsik? I have to analyze myself. And I have to go towards the path which will take me towards liberation. So when Bhagavan started this chapter, he said, if somebody knows this, they will get liberated. Got it? So here. Then 11th, 12th, the manifestation. Sarvadvareshu dehe asmin prakasha upajāyantē jñānam yada tada vidyāt dvivridham sattvam ityuta. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated with knowledge. So here is going to do one. See, we don't have doors here to close anything. So we are in the world. So sound is going to go into our ears. We can practice that, okay, let only good sounds go in our ears. Let only the sound of satsanga go. Let only the sound of chanting go. But no, Rajogun is everywhere. As I told you, you are sitting and you are praying to God. You know, suppose you're traveling and you're praying to God, your chanting is going on. And suddenly an old filmy song comes in your, and you relate to it. Oh, this song. Immediately change your mind now. This song went. This is for you, God. So the same Rajogun, now you can convert it into Sattvagun. So every eye, every sense illuminated with knowledge, eyes, they are going to see a lot of things. They are going to see, as I told you, their eyes have the function of seeing. What can you do? So many things will be shown to you in the world. But you have to train your eyes to see the right thing. I have told this story many times. I was going with a friend. In Bombay there is a red light area, all prostitutes, Kamatipura. So in the night we were driving. It's a common, we have to drive through that road to come to the main road. So we were going in that lane. So I'm seeing all these ladies, dressed up, trying to attract clients. So the moment I entered the lane and I saw a lady, I was like, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Throughout the lane, my only repetition was, every lady I saw was like, Jai Ma, 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 Jai Ma. Till I came to the main road. So my friend was there and he's like, what were you doing, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma? I said, yeah. Before the mind goes and judges, what are these ladies doing? What are these men doing? It will, because we are in a very tamsik area. Before the mind goes and thinks bad about anything, every lady here must be in a situation. We don't know. But in all these ladies, I only see Ma. She is doing the work of cleaning. Men, so much deep down into their Rajsik Gunas, lusty men. These ladies are offering their bodies to clean up. I only see Ma. I don't see anybody else. Whatever that, people may judge them. But this is Ma cleaning up. I only see Ma. My eyes are only trained to see Ma. I cannot see anything else. If my mind goes into judgment, I only see that, then that will be wrong for me. It's all Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Even those lusty people, I know they are lusty, but it is a Rajoguna. Why are they in Rajoguna and Tamoguna? Because of the association that they are having. They are not getting the godly association. If one of them gets this association, they'll be liberated. Not in this life, maybe in next life, maybe in this life. Who knows? Somebody in there is doing this business, but probably that lady is just chanting God's name. Probably that is her last life. We have heard stories about Pingla in the Tatare Upakhyan. Pingla realized it one night. Whom am I selling my body to? And for what? And that was the realization for her. And from her, our Guru Dattatreya learned. So my eyes are trained like that. My ears are trained like that. And it comes from here, Gita. Training your eyes, training your mind. So this person, my friend, is like, oh my God. He's like, this is the first time in my life I've seen something or heard something like this. I've been through this lane so many times, and with men I have been. And we men, when we go through this lane, our language, the way we look at the women, and the way we talk, and the way we think, and we carry that till our homes. Our consciousness is in a different zone altogether whenever we pass through these lanes. And we talk such language that we help aggravate it more in each other. But with you, today my brains are like, totally I'm confused. I like what you said. I will try to practice this every time. I'm like, good. So next time when he went to that lane, it seems he was just thinking of me sitting there, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. And he was like, I also started saying, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. I said, wonderful, great. Good. That's how you see the world. So this thought, Rajogun, Satogun, Tamogun, when Bhagwan says, make all your senses illuminated with knowledge, it means this. This is the knowledge. Your mouth, it likes to taste food. Give it sattvic food. Don't kill an animal and give it that. No intoxication. It doesn't need that. Give it Krishna Prasadam. Your body is a temple of God. When the temple of God will you give? We offer fragrance to God. We don't offer cigarettes to God. We offer different nice food to God. If this body is a temple of God, we give prasadam. We give nice stuff to God, to our body. So illuminated by knowledge. Nose illuminated by knowledge. Everything, touch, everything has to become God conscious. That's all. So Bhagavan says the manifestation of mode of goodness can be experienced when the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. There are 9 gates in the body, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genitals, and the anus. When every gate is eliminated by the symptoms of goodness, it has to be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one can see things in the right position, one can hear things in the right position, one can taste things in the right position, and one becomes cleansed inside and outside. In every gate, there is development of symptoms of happiness, and that is a position of goodness. What happens to the mode of passion? O chief of Bharatas, when there is an increase in mode of passion, Rajoguna, the symptoms are great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering that develop. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he's already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries to have the best palatial home, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally. And he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to sense gratification. He always wants to remain with his family and in his house, and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of all these symptoms. So this is Rajogun. 13th, text 13th. What happens when somebody is in mode of ignorance? Tamsik guna. When there is mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. Yada sattve praviddhetu pralayam yati dehabret tadottam vidam lokan amalan pratipradyate. Bhagavan now says, why is this science important? To know mode of goodness? To know why is the science even important? Bhagavan says, at the time of death, whatever is your predominant nature, you will be going to those planets. So if you are sattvic in nature, if mode of goodness, you are dying in the mode of goodness, then you are going to go to the higher planetary system of the sages. It is written here. When one, text number 14, when one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the sages. What happens when you die in Rajsik mode? When one dies in mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in mode of ignorance, Tamsik Gun, what happens? He will go to the animal kingdom. So your next, see, you came to the world not knowing. But now when you leave the world, you should leave knowingly at least. So at least make an attempt to die in the mode of goodness. Yes, after some time, the account will be depleted with all the good merits and you will have to come back to earth, but try your best. So when one dies in mode of goodness, you are going to go to higher planets. If you die in mode of passion, come back to earth again. If you die in mode of ignorance, become an animal. The result of pious action is pure and it is said to be in the mode of action. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in mode of ignorance results in foolishness. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets, and those in the mode of passion live on earthly planets, and those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish world. So Bhagavan has given this, I read till 18 shlokas. Bhagavan has given all the things, what is going to happen after death to us. It's up to us to make the right choice. Then 19th, I'll just read all the shlokas, at least the translation I'll read. When one properly sees that in all activities, no other performer is at work, then these modes of nature, and he knows the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes of nature associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and distress, and can enjoy the nectar of life. Arjuna Vacha. So Bhagavan has explained this science. I think you understood. Just to know these three modes of nature, and to know that we are higher beings stuck in this body, and because of these three modes of nature, we are behaving sometimes sattvic, sometimes rajasic, sometimes tamsic. What we have to do? We want to transcend these three natures. How will we transcend? Bhagavan has given all the answers, remember my name. But here Arjuna is now asking, what are the symptoms? So 21, Shloka number 21. Arjuna Vacha, what are the symptoms, O my Lord, by which one is known to one, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior and how does he transcend the mode of nature? I will just read the translation and then we'll discuss on this next time. śrībhagavānuvācha. Now Bhagavan is telling the qualities of a divine person, of a transcendental person who has gone beyond these three modes of nature. Certain qualities. What are these? Bhagavan says, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, delusion when they are present, or longs for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. We will discuss this again one more time because it's such a important qualities. Bhagavan is given us those benchmarks. I always tell, if you read Gita, he has given you everything. We don't have to go anywhere else now anymore. Just to know if we are progressing rightly or not. We judge ourselves. We know. You look at all these points. And if you lack any of these points, develop it. This Shloka number 22 to 25. Whether you are transcendental, whether you are divine, whether you are succeeding spiritually or not, look at these qualities, mark them. This is what I did. Even till date I do. Situations, we are always around Rajaguna and Tamagun, always. They will drag you. They'll make you behave in a certain manner. But after all that behavior, what is inside you? Because that is you. Your consciousness is very, very important. You are consciousness. You are pure consciousness. By living in this world, behaving and reacting and responding to everybody, if you are getting those Rajaguna in you, you have to cleanse yourself. How do you cleanse? You have to read this again and again. For me, chapter 12. But the same thing Bhagavan is describing in every chapter. Every chapter he is describing the same qualities again and again. We just take mark, experiment, and take them away if they are existing in us. We have to become favorite of God. We have to become what God wants us to be. And he has told us what he wants us to do. We take these words very seriously. In this path, you yourself are your own judge. That's it. Bhagavan says, Mam yo abhivicārena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahma bhūyaḥ kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends this material modes of nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. He's talking about Brahman. Brahman is that avyayapad, that people say, oh, we have to get into Brahman. Brahman is talking here. But before that, he starts, one who has unflinching devotion in me, he will at once transcend these three material modes of nature. He doesn't even have to think about all those. So one is, we put all these pointers, we start working on that. Sometimes it is very overwhelming. Sometimes you're like, I don't think so I can even come to this platform. It happens. When you are in this path, it will happen. Many times you will feel like we are failing at every place. You'll fail yourself. But then Bhagwan's sweet words come again, hopes, words of hope, words of encouragement. He inspires us. He brings us back to normalcy. He's like, don't worry, my dear. Yo mam abhi avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. He says, just you have faith in me, right? And if you say, yes, Bhagwan, only you have no vyabhichari bhakti. You're not looking at the world for anything else or any other Devi Devtas. You have faith in me, right? Develop that 100% unflinching faith in me, unalloyed devotion towards me. You don't have to worry about anything. You will be out of these three modes of material nature. That is the greatness of bhakti. And how does bhakti start? Listening, shravanam. What do we hear? We hear Bhagwan's word. Reading Gita, we are hearing his words. Chanting shlokas, we are purifying our mouth. Shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. Think about all this, what he has spoken all the time. This is called smaranam. Bhagwan said, this qualities make, in a devotee makes me, he's my dear devotee. You think about it all the time. So this cleansing process, this bhakti starts from shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. And then in the end, it will definitely take you to Atmanivedanam. There is nothing else. Having that unflinching devotion. Ananyata. Without ananyata, nothing is possible. Nothing is possible. So Bhagwan said, even if we fail in anything else, even if we are harshly judging ourselves, Bhagwan says, don't worry. One who engages in devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the mode of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. And I am the basis of that Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So here Bhagwan ends up saying, those who are looking for that Brahman realization, started with 13th chapter, he started with all this because Arjuna's questions was all related to Vedas. He started with that, replying all those. And in Vedas, they talk about Brahma realization, Brahma Sakshatkar. He says, those who are aiming for Brahma, if they have faith in me, they will experience that Brahma. And that Brahma, whatever you are talking, the highest position, he says, I am the basis of it. It has come from me. So devotees don't have to worry. Devotees who are sincerely listening to Bhagwan's word and chanting Bhagwan's name and thinking of Bhagwan all the time, they don't have to worry about anything. They will reach to that final destination, whatever is mentioned. So we finished 14th chapter today. Next week we will start with 15th chapter, but we will definitely discuss on these shlokas again. Okay. So 15th chapter is also a little technical. After that, 16, 17, 18 is very easy. So we will end up the class now. And let me see any questions or anything. No questions. Sarvapriya has mentioned earth, water, fire. Wonderful. Wonderful. Ashtada, now you know. So whenever you have to define Ashtada Prakriti plus the three qualities. Okay. So Prakriti means these 8 components, the 8 ingredients, and the 3 qualities. Satvik, Rajsik, Tamsik. So this is the definition of Prakriti. Okay. So total of 11. All right. So romantic is, I answered that one. Ma, aajkal to main romantic songs bhi Bhagwan ko offer karti hu and then enjoy. That's it. I hear the new SRK one like that once you told about this. Okay, good one. All right. So we'll end up the class here now. All of you have a good weekend. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Malaltamika. Pranam. Pranam. Jai
Thank you, Ma.